Should sex workers be legal and why? Yes, because if it's legal then they could utilize more legal means to do their work rather than rely on pimps and traffickers. They could unionize or even get access to healthcare, which could help minimize the spread of STDs. It's a service people are willing to pay for. As long as all parties involved are doing so willingly and are of legal age, I don't see why not. Consensual sex work should be legal, because I see consensual sex work as work just like any other work to earn money. I think it should. It would be safer for the workers, they'd have the same job rights as everyone else, they could be looked after medically, it could be done in places away from residential areas and it would be taxed. It works in places like Amsterdam. I'm torn. A lot of people might consent, but when you look at the contributing factors that made them decide that, they might have chosen differently if they had their basic needs met. What two or more consenting adults do in privacy is nobody's business. Legalized and taxed, just like any other profession. Yes, if porn is legal then prostitution should be too. Consensual sex as a transaction between two adults should be legal regardless of whether or not it is being filmed. However, forced prostitution should absolutely always be a crime. Yes, it decreases the amount time police spend on prostitution cases, a decreased chance of catching STD, designated area so they are not on the street, and taxable business. That doesn't mean I think it will be a respectable position, but whatever. I think that the only problem is that it's hard to tell what's consensual with prostitutes. I completely agree that what happened in a bedroom with consenting adults is no business of anyone, but unfortunately it's hard to tell when lines get crossed. Playing devil's advocate. Prostitution is probably not healthy for the sex worker mentally or physically. By offering money for sex, you've introduced a coercive element to it. Selling organs is illegal even though donating organs is legal. The government is trying to protect people from themselves. Should they? I'm just saying that there is an argument against it beyond religion/morality. Well, I'm not sure it should be. Where I live it was legalized years ago in a bid to reduce harm to workers in the industry and do away with the stigma. All good so far. Back when it was illegal it was hard to find and numbers of workers relatively small. Now however it is everywhere and for the most part seems to be largely made up of Asian sex slaves run by criminals. It may be a case of good intentions leading to a bad outcome. I'm on the fence on this one. I'm just thinking of all the people who could and would be forced into it. You've got it backwards. The question should be why sex work should be illegal. Things should be legal unless there's a compelling reason to make them illegal. I thought they were legal in the US. Or maybe it's just the media making it appear that way. Yes, because why not? How is selling your body for pleasure any different than selling your body in a warehouse for corporate profit? I'm in Australia where it's legal. I didn't even realize it was illegal in other countries, lol. Why the heck is it illegal? That makes no sense at all to me. Well, I see no reason why they shouldn't be. Politicians are legal and they fuck us a lot harder. Sex is not a human right. Sex is something you should deserve from love and respect. Buying sex is just wrong. Yes, it absolutely should be. Maybe it being legalized would help men and women that are trying to date actually be able to form human connections again. I say that because it would demolish simping and OnlyFans and maybe young people would be able to form actual relationships again. Yes, and they should be respected too. There is no need for any justification or reasoning behind it either. Sex workers are human beings and deserve to be respected, protected, and valued just as any other individual. A job, source of income, or hobby should never be the deciding factor of the treatment or respect you show an individual, no matter your political views, religion, or personal preferences. Sex work is like abortions, it's going to happen whether it's legal or not. Might as well make it safe for everybody involved. If I'm not mistaken, countries where prostitution is legal or decriminalized have lower rates of sex crimes both against adults and children. I think it should be. It'll probably be safer too, since if it's a legal profession, there would be standards in place like medical checkups, etc. Also, pimps would have a record of the clients who abuse/murder people. Yes, but she be an actual business star. NSFW and customers and staff must have proof of testing. Yes. It's all about consent. When no one is being forced, it should be legal. In a way, it's just business. Yes, a low one at that, but it consists of two people agreeing on something. Yes, legalized, regulated and taxed, more economical growth while providing safer work environment and gutting criminal funding. Yes, it should be legal, for no one is a secret that job is offering in almost all the world, even though is a taboo in many countries, for not being illegal, is necessary take measures so that little by little must be offering in specific zones or locations, then to do an analysis for looking forward to is profitable or not. Yes, because you should be able to do literally anything that you want that doesn't involve injury or loss to someone else. Yes. For many reasons the answer is yes, but most importantly, making it a legal business would afford them protection that they currently do not have. There would be regulations and requirements that would protect them. In the Netherlands they are legal, they keep to their specific areas as it should. You really don't want a sex worker right next to a toy store for kids for obvious reasons. I don't see an issue with it at all as long as they are in the area they should be, not in areas that are not meant for that specific thing. Will I be visiting a sex worker? No thank you, I personally don't see anything in it for me. 100%, it comes down to the basic principle that human beings should be able to choose what they can and can't do with their bodies. Yep, drugs, sex work, and nudity, free the fucking female nipple already, would all benefit from a legislative reform. Canada legalized weed. Our society hasn't collapsed. Heck, it might have improved. Legalizing prostitution has the potential to be much more beneficial. As others have mentioned, it could help reduce pimping and human trafficking. Sex work should be decriminalized, because what consenting adults do in private is their own business. Absolutely, I live in NZ where it is completely legal and it seems to be working great here. Sex workers have all the benefits and protections as a normal job. It definitely should be legal. Sex work is a commodity. I think making it legal would make it a safer industry for sure. Yes, we should. I have no other source of income other than online sex work due to my mental illness and other family problems I do not want to disclose in detail. I can just lock my bedroom door and make about $1,000 a week. I don't have to talk to anyone else, so my anxiety is okay with it and I'm paid more than I'd ever do working a 9 to 5 anyway. Yes. Would reduce crime and people would finally be able to make a living without looking over their shoulder. Also, no one has a right to tell you what to do with your own body. Yes, because ideally the whole idea sex work is illegal is because a bunch of Catholic white men who couldn't get any decided to try and control women's bodies. Or I might be completely wrong, but it usually boils down to illegal because old white vinyl thumpers in power.